You must have heard the story wherein somebody ordered an iPhone on Flipkart and instead got a soap. Something like that happened to me as well. I ordered a Defender on Flipkart and I got this. This is the Jetour T2, which is basically a replica of the Defender at 85% less cost. Yes, the price of this car is around rupees 20 lakhs here in Dubai. Meanwhile, the Defender is a lot more expensive. In fact, the base variant of the Defender is priced at rupees 1.15 crores on road Mumbai, which is extremely expensive, and that's the reason replicas like these exist. So this is the key of the vehicle. It's a very different kind of a key. This is actually to remotely turn on the vehicle, which works sometimes, which doesn't work sometimes, because this is obviously a Chinese car. This is to unlock the car, this is to lock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. No, this is not a fidget spinner, but you can have some fun. This car comes courtesy of MKV Car Rental here in Dubai. So make sure to check them out because they have a crazy collection of cars. And Jetour actually means Victory Road. Yeah, that's right, Victory Road. It's a new brand, just 6 years old. And if you notice one thing, Jetour is illuminated on the grille. Yes, it is illuminated. This is a 6-slat grille, so Mahindra's copying Jeep. So whatever, that's not important. What's important is this car looks awfully similar to the Defender. And why is it like that? I'll tell you later in the video, because there's a big history behind all this. Straight away, let's open the engine bay, and there it is. It has got gas strut. There's insulation there. That is the engine. There's so much space on the inside, which is quite crazy. Washer fluid goes in right here. Seems a bit empty from here. Let's just shut this. Actually, the hood is quite heavy. Meanwhile, these headlights will remind you of Porsche because of these 4 LEDs. So it gets 2 projector setups on the inside. This is for the low beam. This is for the high beam. I love the fact that Jetour is illuminated here. There's a front parking camera right there. And this is gloss black finish. This whole part, the intercooler and all, you can see is actually exposed here, and it gets 4 parking sensors at the front. This is actually the radar, and I love the unique screw heads or whatever that is. That is the parking sensor I was talking about. Towing hook doesn't seem functional because it's plastic. It might just come off, but it's in a very different color, and that is the fog light of the vehicle. So it has got a lot of features. Indicators replace the DRLs when you obviously turn them on, and this car is actually quite functional because this thing can take 15 kgs of weight. Yeah, 15 kgs on either side, which means that it can carry a lot. There's obviously a rain sensor there because it has rain sensing wipers. There's a camera there for ADAS, and there's another provision for a camera for dash cam, which is something you would expect now because the Chinese love to monitor what's happening in the world. 255/55/20 is the size of the tires. Jetour written here. Fluorescent finish on the exposed screw heads, which is obviously fake here. Alloy wheel design actually is nice. And coming to the side of the car, I realize it is almost 4.8 meters in terms of length. But you know what? That's because of the spare wheel. If you don't count that in, slightly more than 4.6 meters in terms of length. So yeah, it is decently long. You get roof rails, which are known as dynamic roof rails, but they can't hold anything at all. So they are kind of for show only. So why are they dynamic? I don't understand. Request sensor is only on the driver's side, not on any other door. Jetour written here, which does not illuminate at night, does not illuminate at the rear. It does illuminate in other places, at the front actually. Isofix child seat mounts, and then you can open it like this for more space, I believe. Let me shut this. Let's recline the seat. So it's obviously a 40/60, but it doesn't fold flat here, and that's it. It doesn't have a recline angle. Every passenger gets a proper head. Floor is almost flat. No, it's completely flat, and there's some storage space here. A USB-C 60-watt, USB-A, rear AC vents, and there's good amount of space. Under-thigh support is decent, not great actually. Headroom is also good enough, and you get 2 mobile phone holders along with a magazine holder. It's not really scooped out. Height adjustable seat belts, airbags in multiple places, handle to hold onto. There's a light placement here on the top, a hook, another handle. I'd opened the whole sunblind. I don't know why I did not open. Now it's opening. It gets a massive panoramic sunroof, which obviously brings in a lot of light, but the cabin has this finish, which is obviously beige and brown. Dashboard is very impressive. Again, very much inspired from the Defender. So yeah, they've just cut, copy, pasted here. That's what the Chinese do best. So good amount of space. In fact, you get a center armrest, just storage space here. Has twin cup holders as well. Quite practical, huh, this car? This should definitely come to India. Notice it says Sony here, 12 speaker Sony system, which is decent in terms of quality. Door pockets are not that big, and exposed screw heads, again fake stuff, but for aesthetics. Some leather treatment here. In fact, nice treatment, tweeter. So it's very impressive in terms of the kind of visuals it has. Let's get out. Not difficult at all. You can just climb out. Now, if you have seen my Defender video, you will definitely remember it has this really, how do I put it, this shape on the inside. They do not have space for it, so they have just put it outside because they have to copy. Now, this has no function. There is no use of it, but they have just put it anyways. Says T2 XWD, which is their way of saying all-wheel drive because it's not 4x4. This is all-wheel drive. Again, LED lights here. This is a reflector. This is the rear fog lamp, which has a nice shape, and it gets 4 parking sensors at the rear as well. Now from the rear, again, it looks more Defender-ish, and you obviously get a shark fin antenna because the Defender gets it. This is not a camera, it's just a dummy. I don't know why. And you get a rear wiper washer which is hidden because of this spare wheel, which has been covered because it's not full size, it's a small sized one. Jetour written right there. You can see the indicator functioning at the moment. Let's quickly have a look at the exhaust. Can you see the exhaust? I can't see the exhaust. Yeah, it is hidden somewhere. Yeah, there it is actually. That is the suspension. Tires are actually decent in terms of grip. Yeah, these are Chinese tires made by a company called Giti. Yes, so these are Giti Control Pro tires. Decent grip actually, decently impressive. And the fuel tank is actually quite big. I think it's a 70-liter fuel tank. So yeah, that is big enough. Now, one thing is for sure, from the rear, it looks more Defender than the Defender looks like a Defender. That is how much they copy. They call this door as the magic door because you just press it and it opens. So you don't have to, you still have to pull it, but there is no way of pulling it like that. And there it opens because of this particular thing, which has unlock and lock warnings on it. It says maximum 3 kgs. So press this button, there it opens. You can keep a bottle here, maximum 3 kgs here as well. And this is where the warning triangle has been put. Let me shut this. Meanwhile, another 3 kg, another cup holder, so you can actually picnic. And this is basically what is required in the US, not elsewhere, but still they have given it because everybody copies what are the norms in the US. In case this magic door fails, you can pull it from here to open the door. I think the chassis number is written right here. The Defender has that thing here, but you know, they could not copy it completely. You can just pull it like this and shut it. Now the boot is actually decent size and it has a lot of hooks. There's a hook here, there's a hook here, another hook here. There are 5 of these on the left side and there are 3 of these on the right side as well. So there's one here, one there, one there. How many hooks? These guys are like, yes. What does 132mm mean? I have no idea. Maybe the length of the item you put here. I think this is speaker thing. I don't know. I'm not too sure. Oh my god, another hook. How many are there? It's absolutely crazy. They've just loaded it. Power socket here. Yeah, 180 watt, 12 volt. And there's a strap as well. Let's see what's underneath. There's some storage space with the first aid kit. That is Jack. I don't know where Rose is. And I think this is the tool kit. So yeah, there is a lot of practicality in this car, which absolutely surprises me. Yeah, genuinely surprising, the amount of space. Let's shut this. Door is actually heavy. So let me show you the car from this side. First and foremost, the ground clearance is decent enough. It is not really capable off-road, even though it has all-wheel drive. The tires are more capable in the all-wheel drive system actually. Chinese, now what do you expect at the end of the day? There's a camera here. What is this fake stuff happening? Meanwhile, this vehicle's chassis number is written on the inside. Usually they write it here, but no, they have put it on the inside. I don't know why. This treatment, something similar the Defender also has. So a lot of cut, copy, paste. I think this is a reflector treatment here. Did you see how they have integrated the rear parking camera? Did I show you? I don't remember. It's here. So it's very nicely done, very subtly done. In fact, the quality is not bad at all for something which comes at an 85% discount when compared to the Defender. 6-way power adjust seats. The front seats actually 6-way power adjust, which is good. You have this magnet here, which is also nice. So you can put your stuff there and secure it too. Meanwhile, door pockets are actually big enough. Speaker here, all of them are one touch. And I think they get the illumination as well. Unlock the car, lock the car, tweeter. And I don't know why this has these edges like that. So it feels kind of rugged. Seats are nice and comfortable. Jetour badging right here, and you get a proper dead pedal. In fact, this is the electric parking brake, and you have some finish there. In fact, there's some storage space below with the Jetour logo, 2 USB-A charging sockets, and a power outlet as well. The lower one, if you notice, it has the dash cam logo because when you have the dash cam, it will record everything on the pen drive. So that way, you don't have to like worry where you're going because obviously you can record a lot of stuff. This is a replica of a trail, so that's the design element. There's some storage space here. Travel Plus is actually the name of this variant. There's only one variant, and below here you get the high visibility jacket. Glove box is decent size, and you actually have a hook here as well. How much stuff you want to carry? This guy is like, yes, I shall help you with that. There's a wireless charging pad here. I don't know this is wireless charging, but it definitely has the logo of something charging, and you have this handle to hold on to. Again, exposed screw heads, very Defenderish. Drive your future, which is actually the tagline of the Jetour brand. And below here, you've got some storage space. This is actually cool. So you push this down, the cooling function starts, and there is a decent amount of space. You can move this behind. There are twin cup holders. You can remove this as well. There's more storage. Very practical car. Yeah, so impressed by it. Now there are 4 buttons. This is for the parking camera. This is, I think, for the, let me press it. You have to start the engine and do something of that sort, but I think This is for cruise control maybe. This is for the air conditioning and this is for the front defogger. Gear lever also has the Jetour logo on it and it is nice to hold to. AC vents placed here as well as on the side. But there is no way to shut the AC vents. There's a handle to hold on to. There is no auto dimming mirror, which is disappointing. And here you get a mirror with a light drive your future written there. So yes, logos planted everywhere. Does this extend? Yes, it does, which is absolutely crazy. In fact, even the driver, no, he doesn't have anything to hold on to. He gets a sunglass holder right here. A lot of buttons. This is for the connected car, SOS. Meanwhile, this is for the sunroof. These are for the lights. So let's actually open the sunroof and there it opens. Okay, that's tilted. Let's open it completely. It's a huge sunroof. The Chinese are really offering a lot of features. Does it open any further? Yes, it does. It does open quite a lot. That is massive. So let's just shut this. The wind deflector right there. In fact, this headrest has this weird treatment to it. This comes out. Oh yes, you can adjust the headrest as well. That's kind of cool and nice too. Now, it has a lot of stuff. Firstly, it has a 10.25-inch screen here, which reflects a lot right here because obviously the windows are tinted. Now, there's a lot of information right here because obviously it has to be loaded with information. There's a tire pressure monitor, there's a tachometer, and then if you're playing audio, it actually displays it right there. Telltale lights almost everywhere, and you can make changes by going through the menu, and then it shows you how the four-wheel drive system is working. You can come into another menu here, so set menu, fault inquiry. No, I don't want to do a factory reset, just let me come out of this. Fault inquiry is useful because this car definitely has a lot of faults time and again, so you have to be a bit careful about that. I will show you some of the faults when I'm driving this car, obviously. So I don't know if you can change the intensity and all, but it just doesn't work well because it's too bright. And steering is adjustable both for reach as well as rake. Now it has got automatic headlights, it's got automatic wipers as well. That is the engine start button which is placed here, and the steering actually has a few buttons. So these are the buttons for, I think, for cruise control and to operate that particular screen. This is for, let me press this, yeah, adaptive cruise control. These are the buttons for audio system and for voice commands.
I'm listening.
I love you.
Sorry, I haven't mastered this skill.
Okay. Change the temperature.
Sorry, this question is beyond my ability.
Navigate me.
Please plan a route first. I'm coming.
So yeah, she's responsive, but she doesn't know half the things. It says Jetour always at your command. That is the voice commands here. It actually gets paddle shifters too and has a flat bottom for the steering wheel, which is actually cool. Let me show you the start engine stop button again. It has this treatment which is a bit different, which is nice to be honest. The horn is also actually good, yeah, but the AC vents should be offable. I don't know that's a word or not. Has a light switch right here in the center, which brings me to this massive screen. It's a 15.6-inch screen. It is huge. In fact, Apple CarPlay looks massive here. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto connectivity is obviously there. Then you can browse through a lot of stuff. Firstly, it has got ventilated seats, so I can turn on the seat ventilation. You can adjust a lot of stuff. You can close the mirrors from here. You can, I don't know what, yeah, you can actually decide the steering mode too. So we're just going to keep it on sport because we can. Then what do you do with the window? You can decide how you want the window and sunroof control to work. I'm just going to fully open. Oh my god, all the windows actually open, so I can do that as well. Isn't that an awesome feature to have? And then sunshade control half open and all. You can do things from this particular screen, which is actually very impressive. I did not expect this car to be that loaded. There's something known as atmosphere lamp, which is basically ambient lighting, and you can decide if you want it to groove to the music you're playing, which is also awesome. If not, then you can decide the colors. There are multiple color options. You can change a lot of stuff. Pretty loaded if you ask me. A lot of settings you can browse through here. Assisted driving, because obviously it has got ADAS level 2, that too, and what is wireless connection, obviously for Bluetooth and all those things. It's actually very impressive. Yeah, I'm quite surprised by what all it can do. So AVM image, this is the 360-degree parking camera which auto activates when you give an indicator. It's actually very cool. The quality is also very impressive, and if I give an indicator, it will turn, it will show me the indicator, 2D view, 3D view, front wide angle view, rear wide angle view. It has all that. Yeah, I am totally amazed by what all stuff it has. Auto stop start, off-road radiation, I don't even know what that means, parking radar, screensaver. The screensaver will show you the Defender with the today's date as well. Okay, I have to hold it for 3 seconds to deactivate this. I am being holding it for 10 seconds, dude. What are you up to? I think it has a dual zone climate control air conditioning system, and this is for the air conditioning. So it has got seat ventilation like I was telling you there. You can turn it on. Oh my god, it is boiling hot inside this car right now. But anyways, we'll get into reverse. This is the reverse parking camera. Doesn't matter, I've already shown you the 360-degree view. I can feel the chill on the seat right now. This screen is actually very, very, very impressive because it's huge and it's not that difficult to operate. I mean, it could have been easier and slicker still. There it is showing me the vehicle with a compass. I can turn it around, wading radar. Okay, it tells me that as well. That's quite cool. I can disable ESP, steep hill descent, and vehicle settings will bring me to various aspects where I can change how I want the headlight adjustment, follow me, home function, lane change, lamp, intelligent high beam. Oh my god, isn't this too much for a Chinese car which is just a replica of the Defender? In terms of the screen, now this screen seems to be more advanced than the one on the Defender, but does it drive like crap? Let's start driving right away. By the way, this car is so advanced that the engine check light is already on right now. I don't know what mountain it is showing me there, but it does show you all that. It says close the door. In fact, the seat moves behind when you open the door, and it moves back ahead when you close the door. So it definitely has this welcome and goodbye feature. Let's actually turn on the vehicle straight away. No animation as such here. Let's turn off the air conditioning and let's straight away come into drive mode. There's 7 drive modes. This is normal, sport. So we're just going to browse through all the drive modes. There's eco, which is efficient, normal. There is sport. There has to be snow, mud. Oh my god, look at the animation here. Oh, look at the way the car is going. Rock. And you're just going to come into sport. 7 drive modes. That's a lot of drive modes. Let's quickly come into the menu because acha ho gaya. I'm done with it. Okay, I didn't want to connect Bluetooth. It's automatically connected as well. Now I want to turn off ESP, which means I have to get into local settings, and it's a bit confusing. Let everything be on. Safety warning, FCW, BSD. I don't know what is blind spot detection, probably rear collision warning. All of this is obviously there. But the screen is not very slick in terms of operation. Yeah, it could have been slightly better. Disable ESP, we have disabled it. ESP system manually closed, please drive safely. We get into drive mode, left foot on the brake, right foot on the acceleration. It says electronic parking release. So there's an electronic parking brake which automatically releases. Now listen to this, okay? Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. So usually the gearbox tends to heat a lot. That's a bit of a problem here. This car is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine. It's a TGDI motor, which is obviously direct injection. The problem with this engine, the biggest problem with this engine is that it is kind of garbage. It makes a lot of sound. The gearbox does heat up quite a lot, and this engine is known as Kunpeng, which is basically translates to shit in some language or the other. Just kidding. 250 horsepower, which is decent at 5,500 rpm, 390 newton meters of torque, which is also decent. But the engine is smooth at lower revs. When you rev it now, my god, it makes a lot of sound. Like now, red lines under 6,000 rpm, 5,900 rpm is the red line of this engine. It's a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox here, which is a dual clutch, because of which it is not very good. It does heat up a lot, although it's decently quick with shifts, and I can manually take control of the gears as well, which actually puts me into manual mode, which you can see right now. Now, they've also developed a torque converter automatic gearbox, which they've not launched. I don't know why they've developed it if they don't intend to offer it. But yeah, there's a torque converter as well. And as soon as I give the indicator, it's supposed to turn on this camera. I don't know why it's not doing it. Maybe some setting has changed. But yesterday it was showing me the camera all the time, which was such a nice thing to see. Why are we circling around? Because I have no clue where I'm going right now. Our top speed is 180 kilometers per hour. At which speed? I don't think this car is going to be stable, so I'm not going to risk it. And the fuel tank capacity is 70 litre. This car is returning single digit numbers only. It will not return double digit at all. Only single digit numbers is what this car will return, because obviously it is kind of a drinker. Yeah, with the engine has been done. There's also 1.5 litre engine, by the way, which they are selling in other markets, but here in the UAE only the 2-litre engine has been sold. This car uses a monocoque chassis. Look at the car wavering along. So yeah, it's not very stable and makes a lot of sound from the tires, makes a lot of sound from the A-pillars as well, because there's a lot of wind noise which is coming through. It has a Borg-Warner 4-wheel drive system, the 6th generation version. However, the system is kind of rubbish, because it's actually an all-wheel drive system, not a 4x4, because of which it's more front wheel biased and then powers the rear wheels when you need it. The system is so bad now that it's only the tires which are the saving grace here, because the tires actually tend to offer good amount of traction over sand, because it has less grooves. So I think they're soft compound tires, Chinese tires, but somehow they are working here. Now, how do I turn on the camera? Okay, I just press a button and there turns on the camera. Why is it not turning on? This camera can go on a vacation at times. Chinese car na, so anything can happen. Come on. Yeah, now it turns on. It's actually a very nice camera. It's hugely impressive, and then you can see these side views too. Then it shuts at 20 kilometers per hour. The vehicle speed is greater than 30 kilometers per hour, so I can't show you the camera. That's the reason the camera was not working. Ground clearance is actually 220 mm, which is good enough. and this car weighs quite a lot. 1869 kgs is the weight of the vehicle. It does has a limited slip differential. In fact, it has an electronic limited slip diff at the rear, which you can't engage by pressing a button. It will self-activate when it detects some amount of loss of traction, and that's how it works. So yeah, it is actually something which is shown in the cluster when it activates, so you know that it is working and it's not just like bullshitting you. There's a creep mode also in this car. The car is creepy itself, that's why probably it has a creep mode too. So that 1.5 liter engine which I was talking about, that has 181 horsepower and 290 Newton meters of torque. That is fine for certain markets, like I think in China and all those markets they are using that particular engine. In fact, the name of this car is Traveler in certain markets. Yeah, Jetour Traveler. Force Motors would be so upset that the name is being copied right, left and center. Turning radius is fine. Only thing is that I don't want to take the risk of going on sand and getting stuck. Even though this car has got 4-wheel drive system, it just doesn't work as well as you expect it to. At these speeds, when the car is not moving, it is actually showing me when I give an indicator, it's showing me exactly what is the view, but it has this really nice camera view, which I'm very happy with, because whenever you're turning and all, it actually moves the camera. Super stuff. Alright, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Now you'll notice one thing, okay? Rev still almost 3300 RPM and bogs down and off we go. A lot of time the gearbox heats up when you try to do such stunts. So, very jugadu gearbox here. Let me quickly tell you what exactly is this Jetour brand. Firstly, it's a very young brand. It is just 6 odd years old. So launched in 2018, and it's owned by Chery. Chery is a car company which has a tie-up with JLR in China, and it has some relations with Tata Motors. Tata Motors was also planning to get some cars from Chery, but then they decided against it. So that is sort of the connection we have with Chery, and as the name suggests, there's no cherry on top here, because this car is actually kind of rubbish. Other than the visuals, the dynamics and all are very poor. Around the corners, there's a lot of body roll. The steering has no feel or feedback. The ride is decent though, so I'll not complain on that front. Now, they are known, Chery is actually known for cut, copy, pasting of cars. Like this is a Defender copy. They can copy anything. In fact, I'll tell you a very quirky story. So they actually had a tie-up with Proton in Malaysia before Proton was taken over by Geely. And what they used to tell them that we will send you cars in Malaysia and you just put your brand and sell it. So this way, they had some sort of relationship with Proton, and then Geely took over Proton, the brand, when it got bankrupt. So they have an X70, which is kind of a copy of the XC40, even though that particular Volvo brand is owned by Geely. Chery was like, हम भी copy कर लेंगे, and these Chinese have this understanding कि you can copy यार, I will not mind. Yeah, हम भाई भाई हैं, doesn't matter. You want to copy, you copy. I'll not be upset about it. So ये सब मिल के ना सबका सी काट रहे हैं. By the way, this company, Chery company, had ownership stake, rather was owned partly by SAIC, which is the parent company of MG, which is Shanghai Automobile Industrial Corporation. They had a majority, not a majority, quite a significant stake. They reduced the stake. Now they have around 20% stake, and they were encouraging Chery to export a lot of cars, telling them that you become the export arm of our whole group. So Chery is the biggest exporter from China. In fact, their exports have really increased dramatically for multiple reasons. First and foremost, the Jetour T2 is performing exceptionally well in certain markets. Plus, Russia had those sanctions, because of which Chery is able to sell more cars in Russia. China mein to they do decently well, but they are having a growth of 200% per year, which is absolutely amazing. By the way, the color of this car is known as sand. That's why you're driving around the sand. And this camera which you keep seeing now, the one I keep turning on here, that is actually known as a 540-degree camera. What is a 540-degree? Isn't it a 360-degree? Well, the Chinese can say anything to any stuff, so they are a little random in that regard. कुछ भी बोल देते हैं. By the way, this is a leather steering. The seats are also leather, which is quite good. On their website, they actually advertise the processor of this vehicle, calling it the Snapdragon chip. They've written all that on the website. How is it even relevant? I've never seen any car maker put all those things on the website, but Jetour does it because they just need any random point to publicize the car. This car also has got active noise reduction, which is sort of active noise cancellation, I believe. Level 2 ADAS is there, automatic emergency braking, forward collision warning is there, lane keep assist. You can see all this, adaptive cruise control, rear cross traffic alert, filled with a lot of ADAS functions which actually work better than the ADAS offered in India by Indian brands like Tata Motors and Mahindra. So that's something which they are doing well. In fact, it shows you the display here. The problem is, when the Grand Wagoneer was driving on the left, it was showing it as a truck, a proper truck. It's a car, it's not a truck, the Grand Wagoneer. So random stuff can happen at times, and then every time I'm going around the corner now, I am quite scared because the car is not good in terms of road holding. It's actually pretty bad. So this particular brand, Jetour, has 5 cars, I think. There is the Dashing, what a weird name. Then there's there's the X70 FL. I don't know, that is probably the facelift or something. X70 Plus, which like Geely also makes something similar. So the Volvo XC40 is having a version by Geely, a version by Chery under the Jetour brand. So they copy ref right and center. I think Proton had it as a X70, and then they also have the X90 Plus, so weird naming. But how did Jetour, or rather how did Chery become global? Because in 2006 they didn't know how to make cars at all. They were doing random crap. Someone from Syria was hell-bent on Chery exporting cars to Syria. He's like, you send it to me, I will sell it for sure. And Chery was like, nahi hoga tumse yaar, what are you talking, our cars are shit. But they took that risk, they sent the cars, and the cars managed to sell well, and that's how Chery started expanding all over the globe, but only limited to left-hand drive markets. They have not been able to make any impact in right-hand drive countries, because right-hand drive countries are a bit more strict now. They will not take shit. So that's the reason why they have not made any impact in right-hand drive countries. That said, now they are planning to make right-hand drive versions of Jetour, which will be sold in Indonesia as well as Malaysia. Yeah, the bad times are coming. Yeah, that's kind of sad. However, this car comes with 10 years, 10 lakh kilometer warranty, which is absolutely stunning. The kind of warranty on this car will blow your mind, because 10 years, 10 lakh kilometers is one of the reasons why this car is actually selling, because people are like, kya hi ho jayega? The brand is not 10 years old, but the warranty is 10 years, which is mind-blowing. And Chery as a brand can launch and discontinue any brand or car anytime. You never know what the Chinese can do, so you have to be a bit careful. But because of the price of this car, which is exceptionally low, people are like, even if you buy it and don't even get any resale, who cares? Because we actually paid peanuts for this car. Literally, you are ending up paying peanuts. So it comes with a 3 years, 40,000 kilometers service package over this sand and all. Oh my god. Yeah, it does move around quite a bit, but it's not bad at all. Yeah, it's decent to drive, and especially for this price, I can't really complain much about how the dynamics are, because it seems like a complete steal. Super pricing, by the way. It has this blind view monitor alert there. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Come on! It seems like the engine will blow any moment, and the revs keep coming down. I don't know why it's not working. Come on, launch. So slow. Sounds a bit sporty, huh? By the way, the wheelbase of this car is 2.8 meters, which seems to be a bit short considering the length of this car. By the way, I mean, why am I saying by the way multiple times? But the Thar Rocks, which has been recently launched in India, that has a wheelbase of 2.8 meters in spite of having a length of 4.4 meters. This has a length of almost 4.8 meters, yet the wheelbase is 2.8 meters. So Indian brands are doing well in packaging, I feel, giving us a longer wheelbase. Now, how did Chery grow so much and have the capability of launching such cars? It's actually not very difficult to understand that. I'll just tell you what they did. So what Chery did was they started copying other global brands. Let this Nissan go. Is it a Pathfinder or what is it? I'm not able to really identify it, but it's a huge car. The size is massive. Yeah, it is. You guys tell me. I know the car name now. But anyways, Chery actually had a partnership with Seat in, let me turn around this corner. The kind of role is baffling. So Chery had a partnership with Seat in China, because in China now you cannot directly launch, there has to be a local partner. So Chery had this partnership with Seat even before VW took over Seat, but there was some involvement between VW and Seat much before that. So they started copying VW cars. Obviously everybody copies VW cars because this partnership, and obviously SAIC, which is basically MG's parent company. By the way, MG is no way British brand, it's a Chinese brand. At least these guys are upfront saying they are Chinese and not saying they are British or anything of that sort. So they obviously started copying Seat. Then after that, what they did, they went one step ahead and they started copying JLR, because they had a partnership with JLR as well. Why did they have a partnership with JLR? Because obviously local partner hona padta hai, and that's the reason they got all the expertise and they decided, chalo ek Defender ka clone hi kar lete hain, kya hi burai hai. So guys, this is my video of the Jetour T2 Travel Plus. Weird car, definitely, but at this price now, if it is launched in India, even let's say 10 lakhs more because of the taxes, but 30 lakh rupees, this car seems to be better than a lot of other cars offered by Indian car makers, which means that the Chinese are doing extremely well. At least they're able to make an impact globally. Indian car brands are not. Mahindra to a certain extent with South Africa and Australia, but when will Indian car brands start selling cars in the Middle East and Russia and all those other countries? I don't know. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye, brake test. Too much nosedive. I'm out of here.